Yep. Up. Hello. Good morning, nation. Good morning, Business Athlete Nation. It is 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central time. Whoa, shit. I just spilt my coffee. Not good. Hold on a second here, guys. Yeah, I spilt it on the board. That is not a good thing happening right now. Yeah. So I'm going to bring you guys up on stage here. There you go. Yeah. Oh, man. I just actually spilt the coffee on my music board here. So hopefully not going to cause me any issues there.
What a start, Keith.
Yeah. Is that gonna have anything to do with you pushing the buttons? Because I still don't have my button.
No,
if I had my buttons, I could cover for you right now, but nobody's giving me a button yet.
I think I'm gonna. I got my cloth here quickly cleaning up here. So I'm gonna listen, nation. Coming up bottom of the hour, we have Brooke Swidar. A big announcement. Brooke Swidar joining us. She's been on the lab a few times, Marty. She's been here a couple times.
Oh, guest. Really? I don't remember.
Wow. Thanks, C. Marty.
That's all right. I appreciate you. Brooke, don't worry about it. Marty. He's a ball buster. That's his deal on the show. He doesn't let anything get by anyone. You know, if somebody steps out of line, he's gonna be there to give you a swat in the chin. Not say you stepped out of line. He just
Hey, I must be a glutton for punishment. You guys keep inviting me and I keep saying yes.
There you go. While the show is going on, Uncle Keith here is cleaning up his board here, and hopefully the coffee does not get into my switches to wreck them. But I think we're going to be okay. So coming up today on the show, guys, we are going to dig into the journey of Brooke Swidar, brand new beginnings. Yeah, so we've talked to Brooke before about new beginnings, but today we're really going to lean into that. She has a massive announcement coming up at the bottom of the hour today. Of course, we got the accountability check-in around the 15-minute mark. C. Marty Fit Tip at the bottom of the hour, and John Anderson's jumping in with his lifestyle tip around the 45-minute mark.
Yeah,
there we go. And then, Nation, Business Athlete Nation, we're doing something brand new today. So at the bottom of the second hour, at the 6:30 Pacific time mark, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, we are going to stop this stream and restart it seconds later for a new conversation called Lab Chat with Ted Mers and John Kraske. So we're going to wrap this one up. Why, you're wondering? Because I want to see how it works. Actually,
I'm wondering. I'm actually wondering. Shit, yeah. So I'm glad you're clarifying this here.
So true story.
Are you going to send me a new link? Because I have a hell of a time getting in here for the first time of the day. How the hell am I going to get it the second time? That's what I want to know.
There's a link in StreamYard, Johnny, just sitting there with ready for us to go. But so I'll tell you guys why I'm trying this. I'm trying it because I want to see if we can get post-production on the first hour and a half out quickly. And then secondly, I want to see how notifications work with the audience, because we're going to get a first hour notification that came out here a few moments ago, and then a second one. So literally, nation, we're building the plane as we fly, and as entrepreneurs, Marty and John, that's what we do, right? So we're figuring it out. So we got two clips rolling. I know. So we're going to have people coming and going all morning today, which I'm really, really excited about today. And then, of course, we're going to get into new beginnings with Brooke Swidar, and then the second half of the show, Marty, John, we're going to get into the continued conversation with tips from Arnold. The legend Arnold Schwarzenegger. He turned 77 last week, and he dropped a booklet on 77.
Never heard of him.
No, you haven't heard of him.
Nah, I ain't heard of that guy. Who's that guy?
See, he's even busting Arnold. Even busting Arnold Schwarzenegger's chops. This is good.
That's crazy, right?
That's absolutely crazy. There you go. And then, of course, we're going to have a lot of comments in the feeds, and I'm going to do the best that I can to get to them. And, of course, good morning, So Young Park, jumping in here from, I think, Boston, eh, Brooke?
Yeah, I actually chatted with her last week. She is so lovely. So Young, good morning.
Awesome,
Glad you're here.
Awesome. And of course, we got the future. Yeah, he jumped in here today.
Enzo.
And I know, Enzo, I was neglectful of your comments yesterday, pal, so I'm sorry about that. Vinay is here as well. Good morning, Vinay. Good to have you here. Brooke's biggest fan, Robert McCabe, is here. Good to have Robert here as well. Enzo, Vinay is here. And, yes, I know, Enzo, you've been cooking some stuff up. That's exceptional, man. That's exceptional.
Enzo's in his lab.
He is in his lab, yeah.
What's he cooking? What's he cooking?
He dropped an image in my feed this morning, Anderson, and your image might have been in the image.
Yeah, well, Anderson's in there.
He must have been cooking some steak then.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I like ribeyes, brother, and I like them. I like them blue, which means it's cold on the inside. Marty, I don't think you're gonna like that, though, are you?
Nah, I'm medium well.
Yeah, let's say if it's still making sounds, you want it back on a grill, don't you?
Marty, did Anderson just call himself a steak?
I don't know what he did. I've never even heard of a steak being blue on the inside.
Here's the thing. When I hear someone's cooking and I hear my name, I think, make me a steak.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Good morning, Jolene. Good morning, Jolene. Curse joining us as well. I'm a big fan of Jolene. You know, Jolene, I hope I'm okay to. I'm already starting my sentence, so of course I'm okay to say it. Was talking with Jolene on LinkedIn, and I am fascinated. Jolene comes from the Uyghur community in Asia. And if any of you know about the Uyghur community, they've been in the news the last few years, and I don't know, I'm really intrigued by that community. I know I'm kind of talking around it, but I want Jolene, I'd love to have you on the show one day. I want to talk about the Uyghurs. I want to talk about the Uyghur community. I want to learn about them. I'm curious about them. So Jolene joins us here this morning. She has been a beast on LinkedIn. She shows up. She grinds every single day. Johnny, when she fails, she runs toward it. Like her content
I want to learn about this community too, because I tell you, we're all influenced by Americans and the way that Americans are bred, as to where you get in these other places, these other little nooks around the world, and they're living the way it's still the way it's supposed to be done. So she's running towards failure, and that was taught in her community. I can't wait to hear about it.
Awesome attitude she brings, man. I watch the content she puts up. I watch what she pulls out there on socials, and her attitude is exceptional. She seems like a pretty awesome human. So I'd love to have Jolene on. I know So Young. I agree. Love to have her on there. Hey, listen, if you're tuning in for the first time to our show, I invite you to subscribe. Marty's been having me practicing. So I invite you to subscribe to the channel, Mornings in the Lab. I invite you to comment on the channel. I invite you to like the channel. And of course, I invite you to share the channel. Speaking of sharing, hey, we're all giving tips here. Instagram dropped some news yesterday or the day before, guys. So Instagram dropped some news where they have realigned their highest form of measurement. They are measuring everything now across the videos, photos, and text around views. So there's been some ambiguity for a while around how Instagram's measuring stuff. Is it reels? Is it shares? Is it likes? It's views. So Instagram has said to themselves and to all their advertisers and the marketing space, which is, okay, guys, we are going to measure your content by views now. So, and our Uncle Keith used to work in the world of social media. So I know a few things about social media. Just a couple things, Johnny. Just a couple things. So you might want to take that away for.
Well, that's brother. That's great information, because people that on Instagram, people are always trying to crack the code, so to speak.
I know. Oh, you mean the code, Johnny, that you can fly around to Ibiza and sit on yachts and make millions of dollars, and tell anybody how you do it, because it's just like that big joke in life.
What's that?
Well, we have all these influencers that are sitting on the beaches of Ibiza or on these yachts.
Yeah, I've heard that went right over my head. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah,
crypto guys.
The crypto guys. Yeah, exactly. Yes, Jimmy's going to do a good job of getting rid of all the garbage in the comments there. And
it's insane today.
It is.
Don't read it. Don't read anything on the vertical stream. Right? I'm going to be honest with you.
The internet is a wild west.
It's insane right now. Don't read anything.
I hear you, Marty. I hear you. Let's go around the table. Brookie. So, Brookie, listen, Nation, I got to get to the table.
Here we go. I'm Johnny, too, so it's all right.
I got to my daughter is Brooke. So, I have a lot of Brooks in my life, and there's a lot of nicknames.
A different Brooke.
A different Brooke. Yeah,
exactly. How did I get my Y then? How did I get my Y? How did a Johnny come out of John? If you don't have do you have a son named John you haven't told me about?
Tend to drop last names and add Y's to everybody's name, right? So that's just how it works in my world. But
don't call me Chrissy. Don't think about it.
Oh, that's a doozy right there. Oh,
yeah, I'm just not going to respond if you do that.
Oh Lord,
Chrissy.
Yeah, that's not good.
I want to go with Chrissy. No,
that's
not good.
Hey, goodness gracious! I never would have thought about that, bro. But thanks for putting that on the table.
Oh my God! We're 10 minutes in here, and I don't even know what's happening here right now. Actually, so let's go around the table. Brooke, you had a big day today. How was your day yesterday, building up for today? You said to me you were up at 3:00 this morning.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of work to get prepared. And yeah, no joke. I was telling Keith that I woke up at 3 a.m. just wide awake, no alarm or anything. And I've just been like doing nothing, just sitting here waiting for the show to start to get ready. So I'm really excited, guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. Marty, how was your day yesterday, pal?
Man, I had a busy day, but great day, you know.
Yeah.
Got a lot done, a lot accomplished. Took a rest day yesterday for my workout.
Oh.
Yeah, and took a page out of John's book. But I'm going to get after it later today.
You're feeling ready to go today, are you?
Yeah, yep.
It's exceptional. How about you, Johnny? What did you do yesterday, pal?
Had a great day, always, man. It's you know, keep in mind, I always decide what's going to happen the day before. So I just wake up and my computer's already programmed. I just knock it out. Yeah,
just like check, eh? You're just ready to go.
It's the decisions. The majority of the decisions are made the day before. You know, because I know when I'm on the fly, those decisions may not serve me the way I want them to. So I make the majority of my decisions yesterday. So I get up today, this thing's already programmed. It's just a matter of execution.
Hey, Brooke, what do you think of that concept that John brings to the table? Because I got to tell you, John, since I've met you, I have been leaning into that. I've been really thinking about that. So yesterday I was thinking about today, because I have found myself in the past where I would get up in the morning and my brain would trick me to making a different decision.
Yes, happens all the time. It happens to the best of us. Well, you got to out trick it, you know? Yes.
Brooke, you know, so John makes his decisions noon the day before for today, because he knows when he gets up today, his brain's going to say, do something else. And I don't know, Brooke, if you've ever wrapped your head around that. And I really hadn't until I met John. And I've been really working hard on changing that. John, it's actually a changing mindset. You got to actually be aware to change that mindset.
100%. You're thinking forward. And just so everybody knows, the reason I make my decisions at noon is because I wake up at 3. So that's a big chunk of time. If you're waking up at 7, maybe you make your decisions at, 4. The key is to make your decisions before you know you're going to get fatigued, because that fatigue will alter your decision-making process.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It is. Brooke, you get that too?
Totally. And actually, John, I do something really similar. I just do mine in the evening, and I'm a night owl anyways, but same thing. I plan my entire day. That's whenever I'm going through my own checklist that I have and double checking my schedule, making sure I'm on track with everything. It's so helpful. And it makes my next day easier significantly.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of power in that.
100%. If we know that if we win our day, that turns into, win the week, the month, the year, your life. And all you got to do is spend a few minutes every day to make sure that tomorrow's decisions and tomorrow's success is planned today. And the whole drill just falls right into place.
It's such a tangible technique that I overlooked it, Anderson, until I met you, and I'm really diligently working on it. And I'm telling you, it's helping me, because like you said, it happens to the best of us, because there was times I'd be getting up and I'm like, oh, you know what? All of a sudden I look at my more and my less list. I'm like, I got to do this. And then things were failing for me. So I'm like, no, I got to stick to what John's dropping this one little nugget. I'm going to hang on that nugget till I'm really good at it. That's the other thing, John, too, that I've learned. No, I'm going to say remind myself and reminding Business Athlete Nation, to you tuning in right now, don't try to change 3 things on one day. Don't try to change 4. Just do one thing, right? And John dropped this in the lab about 3 weeks ago when he first joined the show with me and Marty, and I've been really hanging on that one thing every single day, which is okay. I got to make my decisions today for tomorrow, and focusing on the one is really helpful, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. Jimmy, coming up in about 2 minutes, we're going to do the accountability check-in so we can do a little restroom break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get into our first topic. We're going to get into new beginnings with Brooke Swadar. We're going to reintroduce Brooke. We're going to get into some where she's going, why she's going, what she's done. And then at the bottom of the hour, in about 17, 18 minutes, Nation, 17, 18 minutes, we have the big reveal. And you know what, Brooke? The big reveal is not, I think, what many are thinking.
Sorry, big gulp of tea, bad timing. I'm not sure what people are thinking. I think some people have guessed it, some people haven't, but I'm excited. I've put a lot of work into it, and my goal was just to do something different.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? I've had a sneak peek at it, and it is different. And I will offer to you that after Brooke's announcement, we're going to lean into our creator spotlight, because the creator spotlight has something to do with Brooke's announcement as well. But you talk about doing something different, John, Marty. We're about doing something different here in the lab. Most people would go 9/10 of the way, but it's those that go 10, 11/10 of the way that set the bar for everybody else.
That one more mentality. Don't go to 10, go to 11. You know,
Yes.
anytime I'm doing something, man, if I feel like if I just do that extra little thing, my brain stays in the right spot. If I cut that by even just a whisper, I didn't quite finish and go a little bit more, it rots my brain.
Well, and that's what you're going to notice coming up here at the bottom of the hour with Brooke's announcement is that she went the extra step.
Yep.
So, because most of us are going to go to the end of the driveway for a metaphor, but Brooke's like, no, I'm going to go to the next driveway, and then I'm going to go to the next driveway, and then I'm going to show this to you. It's pretty cool. And I shot a video. So Brooke dropped this for me a couple of days ago, and I shot myself a reaction video for Brooke of me looking at her unveiling, and I was like, "Are you kidding me, dude? Like you talked about going all the way, Johnny Marty. This kid goes all the way." So we're gonna get to that in the bottom of the hour here, and the tech dad's jumping in. I do have some comments. The tech dad, can you guess? You can try to guess, yeah, for sure. And DSP Singh, is it a meeting of gangsters? Yes, I'm a gangster. Johnny's a gangster. Marty's a gangster, and Brooke is the lead gangster in our gang. Yeah, she's the lead gangster. But Jimmy, let's do this, man. Let's go to this. Let's let Anderson sneak away. Let's let Marty sneak away. Brooke can step back too. And you guys know what happens this part of the show here. We are going to get into our accountability check-in once I find it. Oh man. Time goes so fast when you're doing a live show. It's incredible. Until you do one of these things, you have no idea how fast time goes. It is incredible how fast time goes. All right, coming up. I know what you're thinking, and you're wrong. Yeah, you're not too old. You're not that stuck, and you're not out of time. Here's the thing. There's no excuse not to make a change if that's what you really want. But in my experience, the hardest part is fighting the fear of failure, worrying what others around you are going to think. Because if you fail, think about this, nation. If you fail, at least you tried. That's better than living with regret. It's better than wasting your potential. And you know what? People's opinions, really, to hell with them. Because ask yourself, if they were really more important than your happiness, are you accountable to their opinions or are you accountable to your audacious goals? That's what I invite you to consider. You choose. As long as you're breathing, it's never too late to start over or change direction. And that's what we're going to lean in today. Starting over, changing direction, choosing what you want, not what others want. That's today's accountability check-in. Mornings in the lab, dropping here every morning around the 15, 16 minute mark or so here in the lab. All right, there's Brooke back up there with me. John and Marty are coming back here in a second here. And there's John Anderson. There we go. All right, so we're going to get into a little bit of Brooke Swidar. And some of you guys know who Brooke is. She's been here a few times. So we're going to bring a little bit of applause to the stage here. So let's just do a quick re-intro of Brooke. So John, Marty, where's Marty? Marty's getting his coffee there. So Brooke's a repeat guest. Yes. She's a recent full stack camp graduate from Louisiana State University. She made a bold career change into software development driven by her passion for tech and community building. She's known to be a little bit funny, not just a smidgen. She has some inspiring insights on LinkedIn. She likes dad jokes. And she loves to help others, Anderson, Marty, to help others break into the tech industry. When she's not coding, she enjoys spending time with her cats, Winston and Captain. And of course, Brooke Swidar is hanging out with us here this morning. So Brooke, you got a big announcement coming up in about 12, 13 minutes. Before we do that, though, throw you up there. What's going on with you? Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, why you made this decision. And let's hang on the headline of new beginnings for Brooke Swidar. What does that mean to you?
Right. So for anyone that isn't familiar with my story or who I am, yes, I'm 28 years old. I've had a pretty long career as an executive recruiter in the manufacturing space. And this year I decided I was going to make a full jump into tech. I've been learning how to code for a couple years now on my own, and I love it. I love to build. I love to problem solve. I love being creative, and it was just a really good time in my life. And I was sort of like, if not now, when? Right? So I did make a full jump. I joined a full stack tech boot camp. It was 6 months long. I just graduated a few weeks ago, and I started building a presence on LinkedIn, started being public about my journey. And it was amazing because I was able to connect with so many other people who were also career switchers, people who also were trying to do something new after years of doing something else, right? And it can be very tough. It can be very intimidating, but building that community and connecting with others along the way that have also been there, done that, and like encouraging each other has made a huge, huge impact on what I've been doing. So that alone, honestly, has almost even been more valuable than the boot camp, just because you can learn the technical skills, but having that support and having a community to back you up is genuinely priceless.
Yeah. Where's we've lost John on the horizontal stream there. There's John right there. So Johnny, Marty, John, you have made some significant career decision choices in your life. You went from one thing to one thing to one thing. And, I think you're probably a little bit further on in your age, John, when that happened. And that's just fact, right? But Brooke's 28 and she's like, okay, I'm making a massive career change. That takes a lot of balls, John. When you hear Brooke's change at 28, you have young daughters. What are you saying, using your wisdom, Anderson? What are you saying to Brooke when you sit back and hear her story? What comes to mind for you, John?
Well, I think that the main thing is, making a big change. Of course, it's real easy to look at the things that scare you. And most of that stuff will probably never happen. So what I always reminded myself was focus on the positive, focus on the plan, focus on what I need to do today, because all the things that are rolling around in my head that are starting to stress me out, the majority of them never happen. So let's not waste our energy over there and focus on what we're doing over here. Because every time I made a bold move, I mean, literally, you're 28. I sold my first company at 28. Complete change in direction. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. It was like, It's like you realize, okay, I got the sack, I got the nuts, I got the backbone to do whatever I want. My security is me, because I know I will stand up one more time than I fall down. And as long as you got that, you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, that's awesome. Marty, you've gotten to know Brooke a little bit now over the last few months, and you've been engaging with her, and you're a little bit familiar with her story. When you sit back and hear the courage she's pulling to the table, making a massive career change, I know you've gone through it. You guys are close in demo. What's your point of view on where she's coming from?
I think, when you get in that area where you're just uncomfortable, when you reach the goal, you realize all those feelings were worth it. So all the worrying, all the nervousness, and all that stuff is worth it at the end of the day. And it's like you kind of learn to where it's like, if you want to make another leap, or if you want to get to the next level again, I'm going to have to go through that again. And you kind of become familiar with it as you move on your journey.
That's exactly.
Growth is uncomfortable. I mean, change is uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Those growing pains are going to put you in a position where it doesn't feel good all the time. And that the whole stress and anxiety and discomfort is real. And like, these past 6-7 months have truly been the most transformative of my entire life, and absolutely worth it. But I've never faced more fear or anxiety, but also I've never had so much success, and I've never been so fulfilled, really. So it's been wonderful.
That's exceptional.
And when I don't feel that feeling, it's like a sign that I'm not working hard, or I'm not on my purpose. I'm not on my path. Like you need to get uncomfortable, get in the dirt a little bit. That's what I tell myself.
Yeah, there you go. And Good Times jumping in here, and Good Times a brand new subscriber to the show. And Good Time, I've really been appreciating your comments on our content and so forth. Coming in with Marty, you're late again. No, actually, Marty's been here on time. Marty's been really good here today. So,
man.
Good Time popping in with some laughter, of course. Good Time, respect to Brooke. Good Times, a brand new, like I said, subscriber, and morning to our Real Deal, who's been in the show here the last few days as well. Brooke, Ryan Murphy from on the Substack side of things asked you to write a letter to yourselves. John, Marty, I think you guys are going to respect this. So Ryan asked Brooke to write a letter to her future self, and you sat down, Brooke, and you wrote a letter to your future self in 2034. Ooh. So talk about that journey, Brooke, when you said to yourself, okay, so what does life look like in 10 years from now for Brooke Swadar? You talked about, you mentioned a few things. Dig into that article that you dropped here with Ryan Murphy on Substack.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Murphy is amazing, by the way. He's an engineering manager with Yelp, and I've been very fortunate to connect with him also in my journey. But yeah, he reached out to me and asked me to be a featured guest writer for his newsletter that he launches. And it was an interesting psychological exercise to sit down and imagine, literally, like if I could write a letter. So I ended up writing about sort of what I hope my life will look like then. Of course, none of us can tell the future, but hoping for the career that I hope to have and the successes I hope to have achieved. And also I wrote about like how even, like I said earlier, in the last 6 months, so much has happened and it's been so transformative. So if I continue on this journey, I'm a dreamer. I'm a pretty positive person. So I like to think that 10 years from now, I would be very proud of present me and all that I'm currently doing, and hopefully living the life that I'm working so hard to get to.
I'm a huge fan of that mindset. As a leader, I've sat down with my teams often, John, Marty, Brooke, and I've conducted meetings as if the future has happened. So, for example, John, I'd set up a meeting for next Friday. And say, okay, guys, we're going to meet next Friday, August 16th, but it's actually not 2024. It's August 16th, 2025. And then I would invite my team to come into the meeting using language and thought processes as if the last year has already happened, Marty. Because, John, as we get older, I'm looking at you, pals, we get older, we know how life feels, right? We know when our kids go to school, we know what September feels like, we know what Christmas feels like. And you got to get a sense, as you've been around the planet long enough, how life feels. So I find myself with teams leading, you go to those meetings and you very disciplined use language as if time has already happened. And you act like time has happened. John, have you used the same thought process, John?
I can't say that I've done that. I like the sound of that though. That's really cool. What I do whenever I think of a goal like 10 years, it's a bigger timeline. I remind myself of, it's a saying. I repeat this to myself often. I have for years. You cannot guarantee your future, but you can guarantee the habits that will predict your future.
Yes.
So are your habits in place to get you to that 10-year goal?
Yes.
Love that.
Yes. Marty, when you lean into that, what do you think about that?
It's gonna sound a little corny, but it's like what type of person do I need to become to be where I want to be in 10 years? Like, is this person going to be lazy? Is this person going to not go the extra mile? Is this person not going to be willing to sacrifice? And I know if I do all of those, and it's only going to make me a better person. It's going to make me become that person. Like I got to be the person now before I'm the person in 10 years, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think that is corny. Actually, I think it keeps you on track. Because again, when I do these exercises, and John, Marty, as we continue working together, we'll do those exercises. Because John, I go back to what you've been teaching me, leaning into feelings. When I'm sitting with you, saying, hey guys, a year has gone by. Remember that? It would be like, hey guys, remember that meeting we had with Brooke a year ago when she came on the show and launched it? Well, we the three of us, we boys know the next year is going to happen anyways. So you start using language reflecting upon what happened since Brooke was on the show. And then what I find you do is you end up manifesting those feelings and they happen, right? Because you're thinking about, okay, well, the year is going to happen anyways. If I don't stay on this, that date's going to come and I'm not going to achieve these goals. It's literally a shifted mindset that you wrap yourself into. So we're talking new beginnings with Brooke Swidar, John Anderson, C. Marty Fit. We're going to come up with a fit tip here in the next minute. And then in less than 5 minutes, nation, less than 5 minutes, I can see Brooks getting pretty excited there. We are going to drop the big announcement with Brooks' new beginnings coming up. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. Let's revisit some of the comments here. No, okay, we won't visit some of the comments here right now.
I see somebody just got banned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're not talking NSYNC band. No, we're talking band.
Yeah, someone just got
Keith, that was terrible. Keith, that was terrible. That was terrible.
Yeah, I hear you.
Leave the dad jokes to me, Keith.
I'll leave the dad jokes to you there, Brooke. So before we get into C. Marty Fit Tip, Brooke, I got a question for you straight up.
Sure.
Tell me how scared you are right now.
I'm not. I'm honestly not. I was for a while, but I'm not. I'm excited. Yes. I worked very hard to get here. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, I love that. Because I know when we talked a couple of weeks ago, I think you may have said that you didn't use the word scared. That's my word. But I know your nerves were up. I know that I know
for
there
sure.
was anxiety and there was those uncomfortable feelings we have about knowing what's on the other side of the road or what's around the corner or on this side of the mountain. And I know you had some of that anxiety. So, but what you're saying is when you attack today, you're like, nah, I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let me sneak in real quick. This is something I think that will help me so much, and it'll probably help a lot of you guys too. That fear and excitement are a very similar emotion. A lot of times you can't tell them apart. And so, like when I find myself, I'm getting ready to do something special, I'm performing in some way, I'm like, I can get that feeling like, oh shit, I'm nervous, I'm scared. Like, no, this is exciting. I tell myself I'm excited and I start to get a different emotion because they're so similar, you confuse them. So for all of you out there, if you find yourself in a place where you think you're scared, you might be a little scared, but excitement is just a half a step to the left. So start to focus on the fear, which is really driving excitement, and you're going to have a whole different experience.
Yeah, very, very well said, John. Really well said. So listen, let's do this. Let's get into the fit tip, Johnny and Jimmy, Marty, and then let's bring back the announcement because I know we've all been waiting for it. And before we do that, though, somebody joining us here from Winnipeg, Daryl Boyko. Good morning, my friend. Thanks for jumping into the show today. I love to do what I can to recognize the folks that are jumping in and joining. Daryl played professional football here in Canada, boys. He played professional football a number of years back, and he is a fan of the show. I got introduced to Boyko a few weeks back. So, Daryl, I appreciate you jumping in and joining the show this morning. But, Jimmy, let us move to the fit tip of the day. Let's do this.
Get off the screen, guys.
Let's do it.
All right, we got the fitness tip for today. Let's get into it, okay? 3 things you get wrong with deadlifts and what to do instead, okay? Mistake number 1, rounded back. It's a common error I see pretty often when you're doing that lift, right? It reduces your efficiency of the movement, and it also puts you at risk for injury, okay? What to do instead. Focus on engaging your core and maintain a neutral spine. Imagine you have a rod running along your spine and you need to keep that rod straight from start to finish. A lot of people are scared to do deadlifts because they do it with a rounded back and they're scared of injury. But if you make that tweak, you'll be fine. Mistake number 2, improper bar path. Many lifters let the bar drift too far from their shins, which shifts the load to your lower back and makes it lift harder than it needs to be. What to do instead. Keep the bar close to your body, and it should nearly graze your shins and thighs as you lift. This ensures that your glutes and hamstrings are doing the heavy lifting, not your lower back. Another thing people are scared of and how they get hurt in deadlift. So avoid that, and you'll be fine. Mistake number 3, overextending at the top. Extending your back at the top of your deadlift is a common mistake that can lead to unnecessary strain on your lower back. When you stand up, just stand up. You don't have to extend. All right. Stand tall and strong at the top. Avoid leaning back. Lock out your hips and knees without hyperextending your spine. Think of finishing the movement with your chest up and shoulders back, not by leaning backwards. Master these adjustments, and you'll see improvements in your strength and form while minimizing risk of injury. That's the fitness tip for today.
Good tips, Marty. Do the dead nation. You got to do the deadlift. Do the deadlift, do the squats. You heard John and Marty talking about them all the time. If you're going to do one exercise today, do not be afraid to go pick something heavy up. That's coming from Uncle Keith, the bodybuilder here on the show.
I guess John didn't catch that one. I was waiting for John to say something.
I'm just coming back. It was froze up for a second.
You didn't miss anything, John.
You were just sitting there looking like a statue. I'm like, shit, are they not getting them off or that bringing us back in? And then I realized I'm not hearing it.
It was a dad joke. It was a dad joke.
I love that. I love that the host I love that the host set the tone here a while back that he likes to tease others to show love and endearment. Never did he think that everyone else would be throwing the host under the bus as every show goes by, because that's just how we do it here in the lab.
You know how I am, man.
I love it, man. I love it. Hey, a few more comments were coming up in the next couple of minutes. We are going to drop Brooks' announcement. I know I'm late, but that's okay. We got you hooked here. So a couple comments coming from the side here. We got Fly Efficient. I appreciate you joining us this morning, Fly Efficient. I know you have been here here in the lab, dropping some stuff here. I appreciate that. Bezuyak Shimshak, glad to see you in the feed. Keep the comments safe, or I'm not calling you out, man. You were good yesterday, then you went down the wrong side of the path. So you keep it positive. And we got somebody here with I just might wake up and be thinking of becoming a morning person. Yes, I hope you do, because we are bringing positive conversations to Mornings in the Lab, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central. Myself, C. Marty Fit, John Anderson, content to help you get your day going. Please subscribe to the channel, Mornings in the Lab. Like it, comment, share it with your friends, and we're going to help you get going every single day. All right, boys, girls, I think it's time. Yep, exactly it. Marty, we should have had the button for the Michael Buffer or Rumble or something, eh?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, there we
I'll
go.
add it. I'll add it. I'll add
We
it.
probably should have had a button for that this morning, but we don't have a button, but we have Brooks Woodar. So Jimmy, we are going to get ready here, and so here's how it's going to work, guys. So I got a little video here, and we're going to hit play on the video. And you're all going to see the announcement coming up from Brooks Woodar here. So if you're all tuning in, your ears are popping up. If you got the phone with the audio on, and you're like, okay, I got to see what they're going to show. Well, I'm going to give you a countdown here. In the next 10 seconds, we're going to flip the video on Jimmy, and we're going to get the announcement made for Brooks Woodar's New Beginnings, debuting Mornings in the Lab. Jimmy, you ready to rock and roll? Let's do it. Brooke, here we go. There we go. New Beginnings with Brooks Woodar. She is officially on the market, nation. She's officially ready and willing and open to be hired. Congratulations, Woodar. That is a freaking awesome video. John,
Yes.
Martin, talk about taking it to the next level. What did you guys just think of that?
I got goosebumps. I got the chicken skin, man. I was feeling that like I was getting ready to go lift something heavy. You know?
That's what I was about to say. I'm ready to go lift some weights now.
Dude, that was exceptional. Brooks Woodar. I'm going to say Anderson. I thought I was watching a wrestling video. I'm thinking, there's Johnny going to be walking out to the ring. Like, that's like a big wrestling video.
Telling you, it kept building, and right when you thought it was at the top, it sunk a little bit and took off again. I was like, oh man, there it goes. That's good stuff.
That's awesome. Tech Dad coming in with such a cool video. Jolene with yes, so young with heads up. Dude, that is exceptional. And we're not
That's a great video.
We are not done yet. We're going to segue in a couple of moments to the creator spotlight because Brooke wanted to make sure. She's like, Keith, when she's like, I'd like to be on the show to make the announcement. She was adamant, guys. She was absolutely adamant that she had major help to have this video created. So when we do the creator spotlight here in a couple of moments, we're going to shine the light on the human that helped her. But Brooke, the floor is yours, kid. Tell us about the video. Tell it how it all came to life. Tell us about what is next with you with this.
Thank you guys so much. Oh my gosh. I'm just overjoyed. I've been so excited about this entire project. So basically, yes, I've been intentionally not open to work as of yet. I'm been focusing on building my skills, on networking, on building my online brand and sharpening things up. But now I'm prepared, and I knew I wanted to do something different. On LinkedIn, a lot of people, when they announce that they're open to work, they put up the green banner, they make a little post about it. There's nothing wrong with that, but I wanted to grab people's attention while still also educating them on my I think that worked. And then also in educating them on my skills and showing some of my creativity and kind of what I'm about. I am very much a next level person. I do like to kind of be over the top. And I came across, I know this is going to be coming up, but an amazing person who is unbelievably talented who helped me put this together. And he is a genius. And while I have the floor, I'll go into a just real quick couple of facts about myself and my skills. So I am a full stack bootcamp graduate, and I'm very proficient in JavaScript and React. And also in the last 6 months, I built my following on LinkedIn from 180 people to over 9,000. So I have extensive experience with online branding. Thank you, personal branding. I've done podcasts, YouTube interviews, article collaborations with people from Microsoft, Yelp, Coding with Callie, some amazing seasoned techies that I respect deeply and have been very kind to collaborate with me. So I also have years of problem solving, maintaining relationships with clients, delivering results, meeting deadlines. I think that my background equips me with a very unique advantage entering the tech field. And on top of that, I also have my social branding skills that I'm bringing to the table.
I'll tell you, problem solving is one of those things right there. That's like a core skill that a person needs to have no matter what they're doing. So that problem solving, it doesn't get any better than that. I love to see that laid in there with your list of high powered stuff.
Hey, Marty,
I'll throw this. Oh, go ahead.
Marty, I don't know about you, man, but I'm feeling largely inadequate right now.
Yeah, I feel trash.
Right? Hey, Marty, want to go to the gym, lift some things up while I go?
Yeah, I gotta feel better. Let's go. No, I was gonna say the patience though that you had to just get in the lab, get better, work on your skills, work on your networking skills before you actually announce that you were ready to get hired. A lot of people, they try to jump straight into the game like somebody hire me, and then they get the lying on their resume and lying about themselves instead of actually working on the things that would stand out, to get them hired. So I definitely respect that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was playing the long game with this, guys. Honestly, I started posting about my journey as soon as I decided to start learning to code and breaking into tech, and I've been building in public. I've got projects featured on my profile on LinkedIn that anyone can go see. I very much am all about walking the walk and talking the talk. So that's what I've been trying to do.
Brooke, I got a hard question for you. So John, I'm learning every single day, both from Marty and from John. I've pride myself on trying to take something from our conversations every single day. And I've leaned into something this week from Anderson, which is this whole idea that we as humans always have our limiting beliefs. We don't think we can do something. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me during your process, Brooke, that you did not look in your mirror many times going, I can't do this, or it's just not going to happen. Please take a few moments to talk about the idea of limiting beliefs and how you overcame those limiting beliefs during your journey to get us here today.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. And I faced a lot of that. First of all, anyone who's in tech knows, or trying to break into tech knows how difficult the market is. It's very saturated. It is not easy to get a job. There's a lot of competition. The hiring process is pretty broken. So, and I knew this going into it. Like I am a very detail-oriented research person, right? Like I wasn't blindsided by this at all, but I had to decide, is that going to stop me, right? Am I going to be able to do whatever it takes and persevere, even if I don't get hired immediately, right? Or even if I do have to have my job search go on for an unknown period of time, I had to be mentally prepared for that. And then along the way, this also ties into what I've been doing on LinkedIn. I've never been a social media guru, content creator, ever. Like that has not been my thing. It is now.
Yeah.
And I also didn't have like a master class on how to do it. I just started posting, and I was like, I'm just going to be honest about what I'm doing, the things that I'm going through. And also I do care a lot about positivity. And not in like a false way, but just the internet can be a very dark place. And also too, as I was going through this, I connected with so many other people trying to do what I was doing in tech. And it was so empowering to encourage each other and motivate each other and support each other. And especially like I've seen some beautiful, organically beautiful things happen where people have really been helpful and shared and helped other people get opportunities. And it just like restores my faith in humanity. So that also helped me with pushing past all of my uncertainties. You need people, you really do. The connections matter, they're essential, and it doesn't pay to be an island if you're trying to win or make a big change.
We're hanging out with Brooke Swadar, just made her big announcement, new beginnings. She's somebody that went from doing something over there who had the courage to say, no, I'm going to do something over there. She went and looked at her own mirror, questioned her own beliefs, and then ran after the fear, ran after the failure, and kept accomplishing things. Every time she fell down, she got up and kept going again. You're here, Mornings in the Lab with Keith C. Marty Fit and John Anderson. Coming up with the John Anderson lifestyle tip here in a moment, and then we're going to lean into the creator spotlight. I got a couple of comments here. Brooke, hurry up and buy. Hey, listen, hurry up. I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe Mornings in the Lab, leave comments, leave likes, and so forth. But hurry up and buy says, Brooke, good question. Why is coding so hard for newbies? I've tried several ways to learn, from Junon right on to Python, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, the most important question, why is it so hard to learn for newbies? And what advice would you give to somebody like hurry up and buy, besides go to the Tech Dad channel and learn from Will?
Yes. Go to the Tech Dad channel and learn from Will. That's exactly the answer. Seriously, shout out to him. But on top of that, it can be daunting. I think the idea of breaking into tech sounds very sexy to people. And the truth is there are a billion different languages that you can learn. It can be very overwhelming once you actually start looking into how to get started. What should I be focusing on? My advice is pick a language, stick with it. Don't overload yourself with trying to learn all these different things at once. Get really good and really comfortable at learning one language, one framework, and then building things with there. And I will say too, like I chose a boot camp. You absolutely can learn to code for free. You can. The resources that are available online from brilliant people such as the Tech Dad, just saying, are incredible and very helpful. So, you know, you can do it if you have an internet connection and the patience to sit and stare at lines of code for hours and try to figure out why what you're doing is not working. So, but you know, you can do it. Just pick one and be consistent.
John, I'm loving watching you lean into this. I'm watching you, your ears perked up, you're smiling. I know you're a proud dad of your daughters. I know you're a proud grandpa of your grandchild. I'm watching you. We're same age. I'm watching you listen to Brooke, and I just see you almost like beaming, like a proud dad, proud human. What are you picking up from Brooke's energy right now, John? Oh,
think you're muted, John. Think you're muted.
Oh, I'm not sure what happened there with John's audio. Yeah, John's gonna go back and re-sort that out. We got some comments coming up here in the horizontal feed here. Wait, who invited Seth Kuhn to the party? Seth the comedian. So
you know what? I think he's good because the vertical stream's on YouTube, Keith. So they can hear him on the vertical. We can't hear him on the horizontal.
Oh, okay. But I don't have him. Okay. So I don't. Okay. So John, we got to get John back on the vertical feed here. We're going
tell him to come back if he's still there.
Yeah, Johnny, I'll get you back up on the vertical feed here as well. We're talking with Brooke Swadar. So Soyan could hear him on Julian. Okay, excellent. So everybody can. What's shaking there, Seth? We're hanging out with Brooke Swadar here, and we are talking about her brand new announcement, New Beginnings. John's coming back on the audio, but why don't we do this, guys? Let's pivot right now. I want to come back to that question with John, but I want to, Brooks, let's go look over there at somebody that helped you do this. Jimmy, let's take the old creator spotlight. Let's weave that into the show at this point. And
real quick, Keith, you called her Brooks.
I called it Brooks. I did call it Brooks.
You called her Brooks.
I did.
I'll let it slide.
It's all the nicknames there, Marty, right? So, Brooke, we are going to take that light and we are going to shine it on somebody that helped you do this. Talk about how you found this human, why you found this human, and what you did to engage with this human to help you get this rolling?
Yes. So this is such a testament to the power of networking, which again, always just sounded so cliche until I started actually networking and magical things have happened. But this guy is unbelievable. Seriously. He is brilliant. He's so professional. And I ended up coming across his content. Someone shared it. And it in this case, it was very funny content that he had created. And then I looked into his profile and he does amazing work partnering with companies. He's based in the UK, but he is a videographer and a expert, honestly, in digital production. And he owns his own company and does consultation work. And I actually had him in the back of my mind to help me because I'm not an editing expert. I'm not a professional, and I knew that if I wanted to make this, I needed one. So I made a post on LinkedIn saying, hey, I need help with this. And I almost messaged him, but I didn't. And that was a limiting belief because I thought, man, he works with all these companies.
Whoa.
He doesn't like normally do just one-on-one, like for people, right? Like he's a true professional that partners with helping with branding with companies. And he actually sent me a message and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I was fortunate enough to partner with him, and he used his amazing skills to make this video happen. He is incredible. So
hold on, Brooke, before I flip the tab, Jimmy, before we flip the tab on Shine the Light on our creator spotlight here, I just want to make sure I heard you clearly. You literally just walked up to LinkedIn, you said, I need some help creating a video, and you just hit post, and you wanted to see what was going to happen?
Well, yeah. And again, I actually wanted to just message him and not make a post because I really wanted him to be the person, but I don't know. I was like, man, he's busy. Like he's not going to want to work on my little, so I'm just a girl trying to break into tech, you know? But yeah. And actually funny enough, like 10 people tagged him in my post because we have a lot of mutuals. And then he dropped into my DMs and he was like, hi, want to hop on a call? And I was like, yes, I do. So
what was the key learning from that, Brooke? Again, let's leave a nugget for Business Athlete Nation. What was the key learning from that experience?
Don't listen to that voice. Do it. Reach out. The worst that's going to happen is someone says no, but at least you tried. And the best thing that's going to happen is you get an amazing video that would never have happened otherwise to help you launch your new tech career.
All right. So without further ado, we're going to put the creator spotlight, and then Brooke wants to put it on screen. I'm going to throw it back to you to introduce this fellow and talk a little bit about Dominic Watts. He is our creator spotlight today. Dominic is from Maidenhead, England, United Kingdom. He's a videographer, photographer, social media guy who's great at making the mundane appear insane. And clearly, Dominic did a wonderful job making the mundane Brooke Swidar look not too bad. So, Brooke, talk a little bit about Dominic Watts.
Yeah. So what I love is his versatility. Like some of the things that he's produced and put together are so funny. Like I love to laugh and have a good time. I mean, he's genuinely hilarious, but then also some of it is genuinely very like moving, very insightful. And then whenever he came to me with his ideas, he drew up this beautiful storyboard. He directed me exactly how to film everything. And I honestly, guys, I felt like an idiot walking really slowly down my own hallway. Because that was one of the commands. He's like, all right, you need to get this shot. And I felt so foolish doing that. But he took all of what seemed like weird shots and made it into this beautiful Inception-like production. And it was off the charts. Like, I cannot recommend him enough. If your company, your brand needs some help, this is the guy to go to. He is based in the UK, but I'm in the States. He was willing to work with me, and we were able to, transfer everything we needed. He was a true professional, and the turnaround time on this was unbelievable. I could not believe how quickly he got it back to me.
Dominic Watts, congratulations, my friend. You are being featured here mornings in the lab. We got some comments coming here. The tech dads loving it. I agree, Will. That hallway shot was so before I knew that Dominic created it and Brooke shared it with me, I was like, Brooke, are you like this closet cinema photographer? Like,
I wish.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, dude, you are exceptionally awesome there.
Yeah,
so
I was thinking the same thing. If she did this, man, I need to hire her to do some video.
Right? You're like, I've seen some great videos of John. I'm like, John, we got to get Brooke shooting videos of you walking out of the pool, man. And just this content. And Seth's jumping in here with, yes, you're right. Seth, man, I love having you here, man. Nation, Seth Kuhn, one of the funniest guys on LinkedIn. Dude, the guy sits in his truck He parks somewhere in the middle of nowhere and tells jokes. And some are awesome and some are horrible. But at the end of the day, they're funny because there's a guy sitting in a truck in the middle of America telling jokes. So I invite you guys to follow Seth Cohn on LinkedIn. And we want to get him here on in the lab for some commentary as well. I'm a huge fan of Seth. He is funny. We're gonna do the John Anderson lifestyle tip. John, I had a question for you before our audio broke up there, and I want to come back to you because I really want to lean back into you on this one. Yeah. Proud dad, proud grandpa. I was watching your joy and excitement as Brooke was telling her story and sharing the video, and I was watching you light up, John. Talk about what was going on through you as you're watching Brooke and you're maybe thinking about maybe your daughters and so forth and their journey. Be vulnerable with me, John. What were you thinking about when you're watching Brooke?
Well, she basically my oldest daughter is older than Brooke, and
okay.
So basically she could fit right into my family tree in terms of
yes.
And so I'm hearing her, just do what she's doing, and it's basically the same stuff that I've been. When I say training, I'm talking about the mind. I train the mind of my kids from the beginning, and basically they're out doing the same stuff that Brooke is, and it's just. I just love the fact that when someone gets mentally programmed properly, that the world becomes their playground. And so I'm listening to her talk, and it's like I'm listening to one of my own kids.
That's so nice, John.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Because I was watching your face, John, and I could see your face. You're lighting up, and you're leaning in, and you're like, it's like you can see this journey in front of her, right, John? And I think that's maybe why I'm excited too. And when I look at Marty and I look at Brooke, and I know Johnny, we're a different demographic. It's exciting to see humans go after it, man. It's really exciting to me, eh?
Well, and the thing about it is really you've got from the time they're born until they're 18 to do this programming properly. And once they're 18, it's kind of over. So it's like now then you get to sit back and see did what we were trying to do actually work.
Oh, yes. Right. Right.
So yeah, I was just kind of literally when it came down to it, it was like I could hear my oldest daughter. My youngest is still in college, but my oldest and my middle are just out there putting a whooping on the work field because their generations are so lazy. It's, I said, look, you guys are going to separate yourself so fast because you stop when you're done, not when you're tired. And that's the difference.
Yes. Oh, I like what you go back to what you just said to your daughters before the stop done, because
oh man, I mean, if I could just start spewing this, the thing that I told them from the beginning that they didn't understand. And I told them this, I mean, basically as soon as they could actually carry a conversation, I started telling, listen, you need to choose your life or life is going to choose you.
Yes.
And they didn't understand that for a long time. And then all of a sudden it started making sense. They're like, holy smokes, because they watched some of their friends that chose not to go to college. They're selling TVs, it's like, okay, this is a perfect example. This person didn't choose their life. Now life chose them. I don't think selling TVs is where you want to be, and so it's just all of these little things that keep the brain focused, moving in the right direction.
Yes. And hey, to all you that are waking up today selling TVs, you are welcome here in the lab. But what we want to do is we want to help you sell a bigger TV. So if you're going to work today and you're selling a 32-incher, you come tune into the show and we're going to help you be motivated to sell a 47 or a 50 or a 75-inch television.
Well, and I should have clarified that. The kid that was selling TVs appeared to be on a trajectory to have a really, really outstanding life, but he allowed life to pick him. And that trajectory totally changed. Yeah.
Mornings in the Lab with Keith, C. Marty Fit, John Anderson. We drop 8 o'clock Eastern time right here on YouTube, X, LinkedIn, all over the planet. Our reason, our purpose, we get up to help you be accountable. We get up to help you hit your biggest goals. We help you get up and move forward, like our friend Brooke Swidar joining us here with her announcement of New Beginnings. So, John, let's do this. If you're ready, I'd like to look at you to do a lifestyle tip.
That's right.
And then when we come back, I want to, Brooke, can we lean in for a few minutes to talk about the contrarian view, and let's do a little bit of role play. The value, perhaps, of you not making this decision and sticking to your path.
Okay.
There are some that are going to say, nah, I'm just not ready to step outside of my comfort zone. Mm-hmm. I'm just not ready to take the leap yet. I'm going to stick to my path. Can we talk about that, Brooke, in a few moments?
Absolutely.
Let's do that. Let's go. I'm going to pull myself, Marty, and Brooke off the stage, and we are going to. I didn't update the music yet, John. So this is what you got.
Give it to me, baby. Give it to me. Give it
That's
to
crazy.
me. Give it to me. All right. So here's the thing. We all wake up sometimes and we have this great day. It's like you feel good. You're making progress. You're just having one of those great days. Well, what if you could have one of those great days every day? Well, I'm going to share with you a methodology that I use to have one of those great days every day. And it's called the 3-win methodology. What you got to do is you got to plan tonight 3 easy wins. So for me, I have a big bottle of water in my bathroom. As soon as I wake up, boom, I guzzle down a liter of water. Easy win number 1. Easy win number 2 is I've already got my clothes laid out. So I don't have to think about what I'm going to put on. They're just sitting on the dresser. Bam. Easy win number 2. Easy win number 3 is basically the coffee pot's already set. Boom, I push the button. Coffee's coming. These little 3 easy wins don't sound overly significant, but the fact that you're starting off productive and you're not even thinking yet, but you're already being productive. And every time you get one of these easy wins, your brain literally dumps a little bit more dopamine into your bloodstream. You feel a little better and you want to do it again. So by the time you finish your 3 easy wins, you're going to be looking for the 4th, which means you have started off your day in a very productive manner. All you've got to do is win the morning to own the day. And if you basically win your daily battle, you are going to destroy the war of life. The 3 easy win methodology. There we go.
John, the 3 easy win methodology, the lifestyle tip of the day from John Anderson. And I got to tell you, Business Athlete Nation, as the other old guy here on the show, and you say we can't teach old dogs new tricks. Since I've been hanging out with Anderson, I've been weaving some of that back into my life because they work. They really do, right? It's like, oh yeah, right. Okay. If I do that right now, I'm going to do it in the morning. Right. Yeah. But John, here's the question for you, pal, my expert here on this. At what point are you like, okay, I got 3 easy wins. Do I do 5? Do I do 10? And I'm being serious, but also joking. Like they're
100%. I'm so with you. And that's the whole idea is you stage the first 3 so that you keep going. You're going to end up having 10, 12, 20, 30. You're just going to keep easy winning all day long. All you're doing is jump starting the first 3 because now you want more. And your brain is going to start looking for more. You know, it's like I'm having a brain fart, something reticular activating system. Once you program your mind to start looking for something, it'll find it. Your mind's going to find it. If we say, hey, look around you and find the color red, you're going to look around and find the color red because you programmed your brain to look for red. Program your brain to look for wins and you'll have that 10, 20, and your life just becomes a whole series of easy wins, which means you are crushing the day, which means you are going to win the war of life.
Anderson, that's crushing, man. Seth Kuhn jumping in with building good momentum. Powerful. Jolene's coming in with love it. Good time. One of our brand new subscribers. Good time. I'm a huge fan of you, man. Nice, John. And of course, Daryl Boyko, our retired CFL guy here, dropping the fire here in the flames here. Hey, Marty, we've been hanging out with Anderson for a few weeks, and I've been watching you up the level of life too, like I feel like I have. What have you learned, or what are you leaning into these ideas of winning the day before you go to bed at night? Have you added some new habits to your lifestyle, Marty?
Yeah, I try to set an alarm to remind myself, like, to get in bed, like to, start wrapping it up.
Yes.
Because I kind of, I'm not going to say I'm a night owl, but I can easily become a night owl. Like I can easily just, be editing, doing all types of stuff for my business and end up staying up till 2 a.m. I could do that very easily, So I gotta set the alarm to get ready to go to bed so I can have energy and have a productive day tomorrow.
Good for you. Yeah, that's a great technique too, because it creates that awareness, right? So, All right, so we're hanging out with Brooke Swadar, myself, John Anderson, and C. Marty Fit. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're gonna switch channels. We're gonna relaunch again at the bottom of the hour, and then John Krosky and Ted Mers are gonna join us. It might be a little bit later than the 8:30 hour, but they're going to join us here a little bit later on the show here. But guys, I want to talk about the contrarian side of this. We are all about in this show helping others move forward. We're all about helping people achieve their biggest goals. John, Marty, Brooke, from time to time, people, and it's okay to say, no, you know what, that's not for me. I'm going to stay on my path. Brooke, let's lean into staying on the path the value of sticking to your path, the value of staying on course, mastery versus generalization, and avoiding the trap of over pivoting. Brooke, what do you think about that? About, encouraging somebody to stick around and stick what they're doing?
Over pivoting. That's an interesting term. I mean, like for me, this was a total overhaul in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not everybody's story, right? Life is not a one size fits all, no matter who your background or who you are, what your background is. So, if you want to make a change, I do think it's important to sit and think about really what the end goal is. And see, Marty earlier was talking about like, what kind of person do I need to be to reach those goals? Like what do I have to do today to end up where I want to end up, right?
Yeah.
And oftentimes it is tweaking, I think, is probably an accurate term for it. You don't have to do a total transformation and enter in a new industry. But it can be easy to get overwhelmed when you think about making changes in your life. And I think that like we talk about the mindset so much here on the show, and you can talk yourself out of those changes so easily to be like, oh, but then this would happen and that would affect this, especially like people who have families, right? To provide for and take care of. That's a very real thing, and other responsibilities. And sometimes those changes are going to impact that. So you really just have to decide, is it worth it? Like what's, is the pain and discomfort worth what I'm trying to achieve?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Hey, Marty, consistency, mastery, and knowing when to stay the course are sometimes more valuable than constant change. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, any goal takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people mess up because they try to change. I use fitness because I'm the fitness guy, John Anderson. No, I'm playing. But I use fitness, a lot of people, they go to the gym, they give it 2 weeks and they don't see any change. So now they're going to try, the weight loss drug, or they're going to try the surgery, or they're going to try, the flat tummy tea or something crazy. So sometimes the reason why you haven't gotten the result is just because you haven't been doing it long enough. So, as important as it is to pivot or change directions, you got to at least put some time in before you jump to a decision like that.
Yeah. And John, how do you balance? I know you're a habit stacker guy and you're all about habit stacking. How do you balance the need for change or human going, I think I got to change. I think I got to change. How do you balance the need for change with the need for consistency? Because there's a difference.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great, ultimately you can be really consistent doing the wrong shit, which that's not helping you, So you got to really understand, you got to think about, okay, the habits that I have, are they moving the needle the way I want it to go? And if they're not, that's the beautiful part is you start, okay, well, what's holding me back? What do I need to alter? So think of like habits as almost like it's like your ability to kind of reprogram your direction. And, because what is it? I can't remember the exact percentage, but some massive amount, like 85% of what we do every day is subconscious, which is habit driven.
Wow.
So if we've got that much of our life and our efforts are habit driven, all we have to do is tweak and alter our habits to get where we want to go.
I find it humorous that Johnny's in California, Seth Kuhn, and Seth commenting on the fact that tweaking means something different in California, according to Seth Kuhn. So,
well, Seth, it just depends on who you're spending time with, because if the people around you think tweaking is doing drugs, you got yourself surrounded with the wrong people, brother.
Oh, I didn't know we were talking drugs and tweaking in California this morning. Are we talking Snoop Dogg too this morning? Anyways, so hey, Brooke, people often deal with backlash from family and friends when making new beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
When you went to your family and your friends and you said, you know what, Mom? I know you're close with your mom. Mom, I am chucking everything I've done for the last 20 years of my life, 25 years in life, and I'm going in that direction. Marty, you've had people come to you saying, what the hell are you doing, Marty? You're like, no, I'm going in this direction. John, you've made big decisions in your life.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say to audience members, family, friends who are worried about backlash when you're about to make a big change in your life? Starting with you, Brooke.
So that's kind of a complicated thing to answer because sometimes the decision that you're making isn't always a good one. So I don't want to say that if someone that is trustworthy and cares about you that says, hey, maybe you should think about this, sometimes that is a good thing, right? You don't just want yes men in your life. So that's sort of the opposite of where you were going. I just want to point that out. But, and in my case, my mom is my biggest cheerleader. And I'm very fortunate that she was totally on board, but she trusts my judgment. I think she knows I'm not an impulsive person. And I did have other people, however, in my life who, and not even in a nasty way, and I think they meant it with good intent. Like I said, how difficult the tech market is, right? And how hard it is to get a job, especially for a junior, someone new to the industry, such as myself, right? Someone who doesn't have years and years of experience. And although I do think they meant it in an advisory way, and it was intimidating to read and hear and think about that, but I just had to bet on myself. It's my life. It's my career. I'm the only person that can do it. I'm the only person that can make that decision. No one else is going to do it for me. So you got to choose what voices you're listening to and what the intent behind what they're saying is.
You know, I got to jump right in there because I'm a mama's boy to the core. So I totally get the whole, but and early on, my mom, she don't get me wrong, unconditional love under it. I could do the dumbest shit on the planet. She's going to love me the same, but she did not understand the beginning of my journey. I got two older brothers who were kind of like the All-Americans, the All-American sons. And then here I come, I'm whopping learning disability. And I'm interested in all this shit that doesn't make sense to her. Either my brothers were smart. They were interested in stuff that made sense. So she was kind of like, she said a few times to me, when are you going to be normal? And already at that point in my life, I knew that I didn't want to be normal. So I didn't take that as a negative thing from her. But what I realized was, man, early on, I realized if people who love me even don't understand what I'm doing, then I'm really shooting the direction I need to be shooting. Because most people, they do not. If someone says, "Oh man, that's a great goal, you're going to get that," I need to look at myself and go, "Dude, you are not shooting high enough." Because the average person should not understand my goal. Look at me and say, "This son of a bitch is nutty as a fruitcake." That's what I want to hear.
Yeah,
because
I'm
the average person is not going to understand, and you got to accept that.
Well, and John, I think that's so. Just to maybe look at you and I for a second, and even Marty, when we met each other, you guys were like, this Billis guy's a little bit out there. I think I want to hang out with him, because you knew my goal wasn't just to do a podcast. Yeah,
that's the whole thing that attracted me to this. It was the fact that it's. I mean, first of it, this is not an easy deal. Most people, doing something every day like this would wear them out.
Yes.
And it's for the select that can actually do it. And the fact that you were trying to open up a can of worms that was a big, nasty can. I was like, okay, this is what excites me. If this was easily doable, I'd have passed right on by.
Yeah. And I know Marty's the same way. So Marty, what do you say to people who look at you going, what do you do, man? When you moved to LA, you took your whole life out of Maryland, and you moved to California years back. I'm going to start a whole new training career. You had people looking at you, Marty, maybe your mom or your dad going, what the hell you doing, man? How did you respond?
I said,
shut up.
No, I'm playing.
Oh man, where's my buttons, man? Come on.
No, no, I'm playing, but no. One thing I always ask myself, I tell myself this first. I'm like, you always have to understand that they're doing it out of love because they care about you. So that kind of lightens up the situation for me. But then you also have to ask yourself, like, is this person telling you this stuff? Are they fulfilled? Yeah. Are they living in their purpose? Are they chasing their dreams? And if the answer is no, you got to take what they say with a grain of salt. You can't really, listen to what they have to say. You got to live your life. 100%. And guess what? You might slip up and bump your head a couple times, and that's okay. It's part of life. It's part of being a man, part of being a woman. But you got to do what's best for you, and you know where you want to be in 10 years, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah. And all they're doing is expressing their limited belief system. That's all it is. They don't know any better. It's not like they just don't believe it's possible because they live inside their own limited beliefs.
Yep.
Oh, I like that, John. That's powerful. I'm going to revisit the comments here. Hey, Business Athlete Nation, I apologize. I do the best that I can going back and forth in the horizontal and vertical stream here. I got some great horizontal comments coming here. Cindy Gorman, I appreciate you. I know you're very engaged in our chats here, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you love red. thank you. It seems like Red's showing up here on the show often these days, but Cindy's got some great comments coming up here. She says, just saying, young mums of young kids often get very little sleep, and that brand new outfit, baby, spit up on that. And she got a couple great comments here, I think directed at Brooke along the way. We got Enzo here. Enzo's, my next generation's lazy. Yes, Enzo, we know that your generation's lazy. That we have no debating over that, actually.
Enzo's lazy.
Yeah, Enzo. Oh, there we go. And yes, Enzo, I know TVs are huge, man. That's why we're all putting screens on our faces so we can get smaller TVs. And yes, Enzo, we are going to get this exactly. For when it comes to merch, we're going to get one that says "Where's my buttons" for John Anderson here. So keep the comments coming in, guys. Dominic as well. I saw you here a little bit earlier. I appreciate you jumping in. And the video that Vinay, the comment you made about Dominic, yes, the video is absolutely exceptional. Coming up 15 minutes after the second hour here in Mornings in the Lab, we've done an exceptional job discussing new beginnings, how we go about it, where we come from it, the contrarian side of it. I think at this point we're going to wrap it up and we're going to move our dialogue into some of the Arnold Schwarzenegger lifestyle tips of the day. But guys, before I want to do that, I thought I found something I read yesterday, which I thought you guys would be interested in hearing. And no, this is not controversial. This is actually no, this is a good one. This is a good one. So we all know who Kevin O'Leary is, right? Kevin O'Leary, the Shark Tank guy, right? Yeah. This one I thought this was quite exceptional. So there's one skill he looks for in a leader, John, Marty, Brooke, but he says it's almost impossible to find. What do you guys think that one skill is that he says is really impossible to find? When I read this yesterday, I'm like, yeah, this is great. Because in my experience, this is a difficult skill for many to find. And it's related to what happened today. First to you, Marty, what's that one skill do you think that leaders struggle to do? What do you think?
Empathy?
That's a good one. Yeah. Brooke, what do you think?
The first thing that came to my mind that I think is lacking oftentimes is active listening.
Okay. Excellent. Anderson, what do you think, pal?
I think most leaders have the biggest difficulty with leading themselves properly first.
Oh, good one. According to Kevin O'Leary, he says effective leaders, the one skill he looks for in the greatest leaders, and he says ideas are a dime a dozen. You can hang on this one. Ideas are a dime a dozen. The most effective leaders, the other E word guys, execute.
Well, that's 100%. You got to move. That's the whole thing of leading yourself. Don't just talk. You got to do.
Yes. And I bring that up because let's go there. Brooke said to herself, I want to pivot. I'm going to go chase a new career. She could have talked about it, John, forever. She could have talked about it, Marty, with all of her friends forever, but she did something about it. And then she accomplished it. Yep. And then when she was accomplished, it's like, okay, now I need to go find a job. So she talked about it. She thought about it. And then she reached out to Dominic and then had something done. So if you look at Brooke's entire process was thought process, execute. Thought process, execute. And Business Athlete Nation, if you've been watching this show come to life, it has not been perfect at all. But I've been executing every single day. And that is the hardest thing for us as leaders. And I'm looking at you guys right now that are going to work today or going about your day. Don't just talk about something, do it. Don't be afraid to fly the plane while you're building it.
But you know what is perfect about this show is you, because before me, of course, you've showed up every day. Sometimes showing up is the perfection you need, because if you're showing up and you're doing it, that's the foundation for moving in that direction. There's no such thing as perfect, but yes, we know what I'm talking about.
But that's why I go back to the business athlete mindset and lifestyle. It starts in the gym, the metaphor of the gym, right? Brooke was up at 3:00 this morning in her own head going, okay, I got to prepare for today. Right? So that preparation moved to execution. Yep. John, you just didn't show up in the gym and all of a sudden get big. You had to say, okay, in order for me to get big, I have to execute. Marty's like, okay, I'm going to become a D1 athlete. And I'm going to go build a live show and one of the greatest fitness podcasts on in the evenings. I'm going to go join Keith. I have to execute. The point is, there's a lot of people listening right now. There's a lot of people in their cars. They talk. Idea. Good. Go. Can do something about it. I posted a comment a couple of days ago. Oh yeah, I made my first video. Okay, great. Go do a second one. Execution is the hardest thing for everybody to do. Marty said himself a few moments ago, yeah, I've gone to the gym for 2 weeks, Marty. How come I'm not having results? Oh, you just gotten started.
Well, in the whole idea of execution for many people, because with execution comes the high probability of failing.
Yes.
So many people, they're more afraid of what people are going to say about them or think about them because they failed in the actual failure themselves. And as soon as you pursue failure, as soon as you start running to it rather than running from it, everything will change.
So true. So if there's anything you hang on from this conversation, and if there's anything you hang on from the learnings from Brooke, execute. And don't be afraid if you're going to fall, because you're going to fall.
Right.
So don't even think you're not going to fall, right, Brooke? Because you're going to fall along the way.
Keith, I was just going to say, it reminds me of the first time I was on your show and I thought I was killing it. And then I was muted the entire time and I did not know. I mean, listen, that's going to happen. And like whenever I started posting online, which was new for me, like that for me, that was outside of my comfort zone. Right. And part of the reason why I was hesitant to, because I was like, I don't want to look like a fool. I don't want to be not taken seriously. I don't want to make mistakes. And as a perfectionist, that's something I struggle with regularly. Cause like, if it's not right, sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to do it. If it's not going to be right, if I don't feel like I can deliver. So.
Well, and you know what I can, lead. Yeah. So Jimmy, we don't want to ban Good Time there. Good Time's a friend of the lab here. So we want to bring Good Time back. Good Time, if we might've hit that inadvertently here. I will also say that when it comes to executing, we have not only the fear of failure, but this idea of accepting the joy along the way. That what happens if something happens? What happens if positivity happens? But the point I wanted to make is, so I got distracted there. It's selective language. John, I'm going to look at you again because we're both parents. I was saying to my daughter last night, she's going away for the weekend, and I said to her, I said, I chose when instead of if. When something goes sideways this weekend, don't be afraid to call me. Instead of if, because we know, John, things are going to happen, and we want to tell our kids, our colleagues, our collaborators that not if, because if is kind of like it's like when you make the decision. No, you're saying, okay, no, John, when you fail on the Scott rack, call me, man, because I'm going to help you. Because I'm anticipating that it's going to happen. You know what I'm trying to say, John? Like it's using
100%, brother. It's like the whole. Don't tell me you can't.
Yes.
Tell me you don't want to. I can live with I don't want to do that, Dad. You tell me I can't. It's coming hard now. Now you have to do it, because that word does not exist in our vocabulary, because what it is, it's relinquishing accountability. That simple word says I don't have to do this anymore.
Yes.
And you have to just realize that how you speak, how you digest it's gonna shape the direction of your life.
Yes, exactly. Good Time, we're bringing you back here, man. Don't worry about that. Inam is coming in with, hello, everyone. It's so nice to see you on the live show every day. Inam, I love having you in here, man. And you're right, pal. Every time we fall down, we get up more stronger than we did the first time here. So we're coming up to the bottom of the show. We're going to wrap this show up here in a few moments and then rejig it here at the bottom of the hour here. Brooke, something else you talked about today during your journey. You talked about did you say when you jumped onto LinkedIn, when did you join LinkedIn? In February?
Well, okay. So I've had a LinkedIn account and just like did nothing with it. So I wasn't active on LinkedIn until the end of February. That's when I started posting.
And you had 900 in February, and you have how much now?
No, I had 180 in February, and now I have almost 9,500.
Wow.
That's big.
Dude, that's incredible. So
pretty cool.
I need to get on LinkedIn to get better.
I love your vids on LinkedIn. I really do, see, Marty. They're very good.
I try to post like every day. I'll do like 3 days in a row and fall off. I gotta get better.
And John,
set an alarm, brother. Set yourself an alarm.
You're right.
Get on this.
And Anderson, I've been meaning to talk to you about getting yours resurrected here, so I'll get to that today or this weekend, but I want to help you with that. But Brooke, give the Business Athlete Nation 5, 3, 2. What were those effective networking tips? I got some here on my notes here, but what were some tips that worked exceptionally well for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, what worked for me and I think really contributed was, I feel like sometimes I say words that sound like buzzwords, but there's just truth to them. But like being authentic is something people talk about a lot, but it's what I did. I was honest about, hey, I don't necessarily know what I'm doing, but I care about breaking into tech. This is what I'm learning. These are the challenges that I'm facing. This is something I built, even if like my code kind of sucked, or it was just very simple and minimal at first. Like I posted it, and that was intimidating to me because I was connecting with brilliant tech geniuses online who'd been doing it for years. And I was like, and here's this little thing I animated, but I was really proud of it. And the truth is we all start at the bottom. We all start with no knowledge. We all learn. So I'm not going to get there until I'm here first, right? It's a staircase to success. And so that was one thing that I think people resonated with a lot, that I took the initiative to share. And I think a lot of people are a little bit too intimidated to do that. So it drew people in and they were like, oh, and then I think encouraged them to do the same thing. And the other thing I did, I was very aggressive with reaching out to other people in tech who were seasoned, who were very established. And I wasn't asking for favors or, or a job or anything. I genuinely was like, hey, I'm here to learn. I believe that the easiest and most effective way to level up is by connecting with others who have been there and done that. And I came at it as a complimentary approach. Like, I love your work. I'm very impressed with your background. I'd love to learn more about your story. And people love to talk about themselves.
Yes.
That's universal. So, if you come at someone with that, someone that you admire or would like to learn from or connect with, most of the time they're going to be very open to it. So that helped a lot. And it opened so many doors. And then an example of that, something that I did not intend, but like my first ever YouTube interview was with Nick Costantino, who's a senior engineer at Microsoft. And he was chatting with me. I was in my boot camp. I was like, how did this guy's busy. You know what I'm saying? He runs an incredible YouTube channel. He's got a successful tech career. The Dev Leader, you should check it out, by the way, on YouTube. And he does incredible work, but he asked me to sit down and talk about my story. And that would not have happened had I not put myself out there and reached out. And I'm happy to, call him a friend. I think very highly of him now. And we've gotten to know each other over the months, but like those things are magical, Keith. And like also that article that you featured, that's Ryan Murphy. He works for Yelp. And he asked me to write a letter. Like, guys, I haven't even gotten my first tech job yet. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in perspective, it's crazy. Now I am working hard. I am doing things a bit differently. I will give myself the credit for that, but it's been magical.
It's exceptional. Brooke Sweatar, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your journey. I'm proud that I've gotten to know you over the last number of months. I'm proud to call you a friend, an acquaintance, somebody I'm really getting to know here on the show and through the platform. And call you a friend. I'm enjoying your journey. I'm really enjoying watching where you're at to, what you're up to, and a couple young guys like myself and Anderson just getting started here. We're going to watch that journey of yours right over the next 10, 15, 20 years. And it's going to be really exciting to see where it goes. Right. So thank you for choosing to come to our show. Thank you for choosing to come sit down with myself and Marty and John to reveal your next plans. I'm very flattered. I'm very honored by that. And that's awesome, man. I really, really appreciate that. So thank you for doing that with us.
Thank you so much, Keith. That means the world to me. You are lovely. I love what you guys are doing. I think you all are fantastic, but man, it's been a privilege to get to know you. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And you know what, Seth, I think you're right. And Marty, I think you're going to agree with this as well, but I pulled this button out once and I got hell for it from Marty. And I'm going to pull it out again. I don't think Marty's going to give me hell for it this time. And Seth, I agree, man. So we're going to do this. Brooke Sweatar definitely deserves this button right here.
There we go. There we go.
She's a goat.
She's a goat. She's a goat. So I've been reserving that for special folks because Marty gave me hell and John keeps an eye on me. So, we are going to, at Seth's encouragement, we're revealing the goat, Brooke Sweatar, mornings in the lab. So here's what's going to happen, nation. Here's what's going to happen. We are going to end this stream and we're going to restart it. So if you're tuning into the show right now, it's going to pop right back up here in a minute. We're going to continue the conversation. I got a couple topics to throw on the table, and then John Kraske, Ted Merz are going to join us. Good time. Glad to have you back, man. Thanks, thanks, Jimmy, for getting Good Times account back. That's awesome. So we're going to come back, and here's the hook. I'm going to drop a hook for my boys. You guys know what eggplant deformity is? And 5 injuries that you could get from hanging out with your partner in a situation that might cause injuries.
This is going to reveal itself a little more as we get going here. I'm going to smell this one coming.
Let's do it. We're going to drop out of this feed. We're going to come back in less than a minute, Business Athlete Nation. So, and we're going to continue our conversation. We're trying something new. We're building the plane as we fly. Why? Because we're going to stop this feed. We're going to get into post-production so we can start getting it onto the networks. And we're going to be back for round 2 of Marty's in the Lab. John, Marty, let's
Am I going to have time for a piss? Will I have time for a piss?
John has time for a piss, yes. And then you're going to go back into StreamYard, John. The links are going to be there, and we're all going to be here.
Yeah. So I need to go, but is it the same links or is it a new set of links that I put in there?
Go back to StreamYard. You're going to see the new links showing up because this is going to be a past show. So you're going to be just fine, pal. You're going to be fine. Okay. So hey, Nation, this is what I have to deal with every single day working with these guys.
You're doing great, Keith.
And Marty just rolls his eyes at all of us. So that's what he said.
I'm entertained.
Okay, we're gonna go. We'll be right back in a second, guys. Hang tight. See you shortly. See you very, very shortly. Jimmy, you got the horizontal. I got the vertical. We'll see you guys right back here. Hang tight. All right, so we're gonna go back to the